Hello and welcome back to another Let's Play Planet Zoo. My name is Chris, and this is episode 6 of Perseid's Zoo. In this episode we are going to be building the gateway to the Americas Bridge. As you might notice, we're kind of skipping into the middle of the bridge building here. The first design of the bridge I really didn't like. I wasn't super crazy about it. So instead we're kind of cutting out that section where the bridges kind of look too flat, too generic, too boring, really. So instead we're kind of jumping forward here to where we're close to a little bit of the final version of the bridge. I wanted this bridge to be like most of the Americas exhibit, to have a kind of a modern feel, but still have a lot of elements of wood. So kind of settled on this, I guess you might call it like a split rail look for the top here, just to kind of offer a little bit of shade but not be a solid structure, and then kind of mimicking that look down for the railings as well. So we're just kind of putting it here at an angle. It'll just kind of repeat the entire pattern all the way through the entirety of the bridge. And the thought about this bridge is that you'd be able to look into the Grizzly bear enclosure as you kind of cross that river that we built in the last episode, and then you'd also be able to look into the upcoming Great Plains exhibit, which will feature our bison and our pronghorn antelopes. So yeah, we're just kind of deleting things here while we rework the original design. Just kind of getting it all cleaned up. Anyway, then we just kind of replicate this structure all the way down. And we do flip it here, but the final design, it is all one direction, rather than, because I didn't really like how it merged in the middle. You'll kind of see that here in a second. And yeah, getting them to line up was a challenge in itself. If you've ever built anything off of the world axis, you'll know what a challenge it is to get things to move straight again. So always build on the world axis, which I failed to heed that advice on this build. As a result, you get to watch me struggle. Yeah, you can kind of see here at the end, it doesn't... I personally did not like how it lined up at the end. And also, when you're dealing with this many props in the game, as soon as you duplicate something, you get this occasional long pause where nothing happens. So you just kind of wait for the game to figure itself out. I don't know if it's... So I don't remember this issue happening in Planet Coaster, so I don't know if it's a lighting engine issue, like it's trying to redraw the shadows, or what. But it always seems to pause when you do a mass duplication. It could be something to do with the habitat. I think this might be peeking into the habitat just a little bit. So maybe it's trying to redraw the paths, the pathfinding for the animals. I don't know, but anyway, there we are. We're back after waiting a second for the game to unfreeze. yeah, just trying to get everything lined up just perfectly. Always a challenge when you start dealing with these larger or longer structures, because it no longer you don't have that finite control, and especially when you're going so long with something even like a path. I think I finally skipped ahead here to spare you guys the trouble of watching me fiddle. So yeah, now we're just adding the lighting features here. Again, kind of going back to my base default lights. And if you notice, I've increased the pitch of the roof to give it more of a defined look to it, rather than just keeping it kind of that flat look that we had originally. But yeah, just adding the lights. Like I said, I like these little path lights that they gave us. They're extremely versatile. And you're able to kind of hide them in places, like we are here. Yeah, there's more of a view of the bridge. We just saw it a second ago. You can see the bridge now with its more pitched roof. Again, just kind of that repeating pattern, which I think looks pretty sharp in my opinion. But keeping it kind of simple, like it's not overly distracting, overly garish, but it still has a modern feel to it while blending in with the surrounding scenery and trees. At least that's the thing I was going for. You can let me know if I did a good job or if I failed miserably. To me, it looks good. So, but everybody's opinion is different. And when I was placing down these plants, I really wasn't thinking ahead towards the Great Plains exhibit, so I was placing some kind of out of character or out of continent zone, tundra, I don't know what you would want to call it. Out of theme maybe would be a good way of saying it. Plants just to kind of make things look pretty, but when I drop down my bison, and you'll see it when we get to that episode, they were a little bit stressed by the choice of plants that I had made. But we're not there yet. We fixed that in that episode. So yeah, just laying out some landscaping down here along the pathways. Had to bring the grizzly bear exhibit out just a little bit wider to match the other side. And yeah, so these water lilies, while we actually do have native water lilies in Kansas, which is a part of the biome that we don't have anything this big, obviously, but we do have some of like the similar water lily looking plants in Kansas. It does cause stress for my poor bison when I dropped them in. But they look so pretty, so I made them happy other ways. So their overall happiness is good, but Just kind of fixing the terrain here, making it a little more shallow, so you don't have these plants kind of floating off in the air or in the water without any sort of root system. Yeah, it's starting to come together now. I really like this bridge. This is probably one of the favorite things I've added to the park so far. These stained glass or etched glass pieces that they have here are gorgeous. Whoever's the artist that is responsible for those over in Frontier, they did a really nice job. I think those are cool. I would love to actually have a piece like that hanging in my office. They're quite beautiful. And these little sticks from the African theme are actually kind of fun. I've used them in other places too. Not yet in the series, but you'll see I use them elsewhere. They're nice little filler, like dead branches, dead little trees. We use a couple of them in the upcoming Great Plains exhibit. So you'll see some of them get used over there. And yeah, just seeing if I want any sort of decoration on the bridge itself or kind of around. Again, I kind of just go into the game without studying all the pieces. I just, hey, this looks good. Let's drop that down. Hey, this one looks good too. Let's drop that one down. I go into it with a little bit of a plan, but not a whole big one. I kind of conceptualize loosely what I want, and then go see how hard it is to build in the game, and we even have pieces. So just dropping down some guest education here. Give some people information about the bears as they walk up on this overview platform here, which would offer, in my opinion, a really nice view of the animals. Dropping down security cameras, of course, but and since it is kind of an open air, don't feed the bears. I guess it's a picture of a hippo, but the point gets across. And just kind of rounding off the viewing areas for the grizzly bear exhibit here. Drop it down some benches on the outside here. Yeah, that's pretty much the end of the episode. We'll have a few cinematic shots here, kind of show off the bridge, since you really didn't get to see a whole lot of it while it was being built. But yeah, we'll give you guys a show of that, and I'll see you all on the next one. Thanks for watching.